All right, let's get right into it. We're going to figure out who's actually supposed to be fixing things in your local community here in Nigeria's FCT. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll know exactly whose door to knock on.
You know the feeling, right? You're stuck in traffic, again, because of some massive pothole. Or you're walking down the street trying to avoid a mountain of trash spilling out of the bins. It's super frustrating, and it always makes you wonder,
yeah, who do you blame? When you see this stuff every single day, who gets the heat? Is it the FCT minister? The president? Well, it turns out all that confusion, it's the perfect cover for the person who's really supposed to be on the job.
And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. Because so many of us aren't sure who to blame, the folks who are actually responsible for fixing these things, they get a total free pass. Accountability goes right out the window and nothing ever changes.
Okay, so let's clear up all this confusion once and for all. We need to talk about the government that's literally on your doorstep, the area councils. This is the key. This is who's in charge of what's happening right outside your home.
The whole point of these area councils is simple. Bring government closer to the people. Deal with local problems locally. In the FCT, you've got 6 of them: Abuja Municipal, Buhari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, Kwali, and Abaji. And each one has an elected chairperson whose entire job is to tackle these issues head-on.
So, let's think about it this way. An election is basically a massive job interview. The candidates, they're applying for a job, and you're on the hiring committee. So what's actually in the job description? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and look at the 12 core duties they're supposed to be doing. All right, first up, let's talk about the stuff that impacts your daily life. I mean the things you literally see and deal with the second you walk out your front door.
and here we go. Remember those potholes we were just complaining about? Yep, that's their job. That overflowing trash, also their job. They're also the ones who are supposed to be maintaining local health clinics and making sure primary schools are up to scratch. Just think about it. These 4 things alone cover almost all of the daily headaches we have to deal with.
But wait, there's more. Their job isn't just about roads and trash. It goes way deeper, into shaping the whole local economy and all the services that make a community, well, a community. I mean, just think about it. How well they do their job here affects local businesses and just life in general. Keeping markets and motor parks from being total chaos, that's on the chairperson. Giving out licenses for that new restaurant or your neighborhood shop, that's them too. They're even supposed to be behind things like creating public parks or making sure you have a local library.
And last but not least, we have the admin side of things. Now, this might sound a bit boring, but this is the backstage stuff that's absolutely crucial for making a community run smoothly. This is really the nuts and bolts. Registering births, deaths, marriages, yep, that's them. Naming streets, numbering houses, it all falls under the area council. But here's a really important one. They collect local money, from market fees, local taxes, and so on. And that money is supposed to go right back into paying for all the things we've been talking about.
Okay, so now you have the full job description. Crystal clear. So let's flip this around and talk about your role in all of this. Because you're not just a resident, remember. You're on the hiring committee. And your vote, that's you deciding who gets hired.
And being a good employer means you have to do your homework. It's a pretty straightforward process, really. Step 1, you've got to be registered to vote. Then, you do your research on the candidates. Compare them to that job description we just went through. Make sure you understand the big issues in your area. And then, the most important part, show up and vote. And hey, while you're at it, get your friends and family to do the same.
And look, this isn't just me giving you some friendly advice. This whole process is backed up by the law. The Electoral Act of 2022 lays out all the rules for our elections, and it has some serious teeth to make sure things are free and fair.
Just to give you an idea of how serious this is, the Act is super clear about protecting your vote. If someone gets caught trying to buy or sell a voter's card, they could face a fine of up to ₦500,000 naira, or even jail time, or both. That's how much your power as a voter is supposed to matter. So where does all this leave us? What's the big takeaway? It's about making a shift, right? Moving from being just another frustrated person complaining about problems to being an active, informed citizen who can actually demand change. And that brings us right back to the whole point of this system in the first place. These area councils were created for you. The entire idea is to make sure your local needs are heard and that the people in charge are right there, accessible and accountable to you. Look, if there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this. Knowing this job description gives you real power. It's the difference between just saying, "Ugh, the roads are terrible," and being able to go to your area council chairperson and ask,
Okay, what is your specific plan, budget, and timeline for fixing the roads in our neighborhood? See the difference? That's not just complaining, that's demanding accountability.
So next time a local election rolls around, you're going to be ready. You have the official job description right here. You know what they're supposed to do. So the only real question left is, who you gonna hire?